Cody Rhodes is the current WWE champion, and in today's video, we are going to be giving our top 10 choices that we want to dethrone him, plus giving a percentage chance for all 10 of them as well. I'm Ben Allison here at Wrestling Republic, and joining me today, once again, we have Des. How are you, Des?
I'm doing good. I always love being here. As you can see, we are repping the WWE Championship because we all know I'm the better champion around here compared to Cody Rhodes. But for today, we'll talk about Cody Rhodes taking a spot of Clark Taylor right now, being on a Cody hate train. But we're going to find out
you've just jumped on the Clark train of just hating on Cody. But in today, well, I mean, to be honest, today's the perfect day for a Cody hater because we're pitching 10 guys to beat him. But without further ado, let's kick us off in at number 10, because at number 10, Des, I have somebody who I don't really want to have on this list, but I do think there's a 2% chance they could beat Cody Rhodes, and that is Brock Lesnar. Look, at the end of the day, I don't know how I feel about Brock being back with the company, but at the same time, Brock Lesnar and titles, they are always near each other. I think there is unfortunately a world where the main event of this year's WrestleMania is Brock and Cody. I don't want to see it, but I am going to say there's a 2% chance. What's your pick?
All right, number 10, I'm going to go with someone that most people don't want to hear about. We're going to go with the final boss. We're going to go with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. You always got to mention The Rock, right? As you can see, he's lower than 1% chance because it's The Rock, right? But The Rock and Cody, they have a history. If The Rock he wants, he can snap his fingers. I can't snap because I don't know how to do that, but he can do that in a second and show up in the top snap picture. No, I can't. It's like doesn't go. Yeah, I can't do it. Yeah, that's why. But as you can see, though, yeah, The Rock.
Wild.
I think he always has to be mentioned in this, but he has a very low chance because it's The Rock, right? But again, it's The Rock.
By the way, this is going to be the first slide on the graphic we post to Instagram as well, so we are going to get murdered in those comments. There's no doubt about it. But in at number 9, I have an option which I think there's less than a 1% chance of it happening. But in the world that Cody does hold the title until next year, when he returns from injury, I do think it is possible, and that is Seth Rollins. What's your number 9?
Number 9, I'm going to go with Kevin Owens. Main reason becoming these two guys did have a feud. Also, I have 1% chance of that happening. They had a feud last year, right? If they ever want to run it back again, maybe they will. It's just I don't know when Kevin's going to come back. So unfortunately, I can't give it higher, but I hope Kevin's in best wishes.
Absolutely. I mean, if he does come back, he is certainly, has to be a contender, no doubt about it. Up next in at number 8. Look, Des, you know me. I like young talents. I want WWE to push more young talents because right now there's too many main eventers in their 40s. We need to get some guys in their late 20s, early 30s into that main event scene. So what if somebody debuted and went right after the WWE champion and maybe, just maybe, even beat him? I think it's an under 1% chance of it happening. I think it's, to be honest, near impossible. But this is a list of people I want to see beat Cody. So in at number 8, I have Oba Femi.
I love it, man. If they went that route, what a push that would be. And I think it's very warranted. I just don't see it happening. But then again, in this world of ours, anything is possible.
Absolutely. Definitely less than a 1% chance, though. But what is your next pick?
All right, number 8, I'm going to also go with Seth Rollins. I have a 2% chance of that happening. The only reason it's at 2% is because he just got injured, right? I don't think they're going to run it back. I also feel like Seth is going to be busy with Roman, busy with Paul Heyman. So unfortunately, I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon, but Seth is a name worth mentioning.
Absolutely, but talking about Seth Rollins, I'm going to bring up the guy who just turned on him. Like I said, I want them to push more talents in their late 20s, early 30s, and Bron Breakker is in his late 20s, and I think there is a world where he is ready for this World Championship, this WWE Championship, as long as he is alongside Paul Heyman. Now, I do think the World title is way more likely, which is why I still think there's less than a 1% chance of this, but I do have to go Bron Breakker. What's your 7?
It's a great pick. Number 7, I am also going to go with Braun Breaker, except this time for Braun Breaker, I got 4% chance of this happening.
Okay.
Braun Breaker is a name that has to be worth mentioning. I was going to put Bronson Reed on here because I feel like he's also someone who's world title ready, but I just feel like if we're talking hypotheticals, Braun Breaker is the future, and if Cody's going to hold it for a long time, I think Braun Breaker would be a great option to take the title off him.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely has to be in that conversation, but somebody else who always has to be in the conversation when you look at that championship is the Tribal Chief, the first holder of that championship. So in at a 2% chance, I have got Roman Reigns. I think there is a world where they run back Cody and Roman. I do think in that world, Cody probably has to turn heel and they have their roles reversed. I don't think it's likely, but I do think it's possible, and I would quite like to see it. So that is my pick at 6, but what's yours?
Number 6, I'm going to take it with the phenomenal AJ Styles at a 5% chance. What better send-off to send AJ Styles on his way off of professional wrestling and getting him the WWE Championship? These two also had a feud back at Backlash, back at Clash in Paris. Very blood feud, honestly. Very personal. I just don't think that's going to happen, though. But AJ Styles, you never know. Maybe they want to give him that last hurrah. It could happen.
It's always possible. In at number 5, I've got one which is going to make people mad. There's absolutely livid.
Let's hear it.
Because, again, this is a list of people I want to happen, right? This isn't a list necessarily of the chance that I think
I know
it's
where
going
you're
to happen.
going here.
This is one I want to happen. And the one that I want to happen, even though I only think it's a 1% chance, is main event Jey Uso. And the reason for this is if Jey Uso turns heel. Jey Uso got elevated to the main event scene, partly obviously due to the bloodline and Roman Reigns, but also partly due to that tag team run with Cody Rhodes, where they had that press conference, Yeet was born. I mean, he's got to be somebody who, if he was to turn heel, him versus Cody, and for him on a B pay-per-view to beat Cody, hold the belt for maybe a couple of months. Look, it would have to be post-Mania because no way is Jey holding that belt in the lead up to Mania. But I do think it's possible, and I would not hate it because storyline-wise, there's a lot of stuff there.
Yeah, look at the King of the Ring. These two guys fought each other, had a chance at the WWE Championship. They could definitely run it back, absolutely.
What is your pick at 5?
Number 5, we're going to take it to the ring arrow. I'm going to go with Gunther as my number 5 pick. 11% chance. This one's a bit higher. The reason why I have Gunther on here is because of the history he's had with Cody. When Cody was in AEW, he kind of made fun of him, calling him Walter and Gunther and all this type of stuff. Cody eliminated Gunther in the Royal Rumble 2023 to win the Rumble for the first time. And then last year at Crown Jewel, champion versus champion. These two, if they have a great story, I would love to see the match. And I think Gunther is definitely a top contender to beat Cody Rhodes.
Well, a big call at number 5, but in at number 4, I'm going to go for somebody you've already mentioned quite a bit lower down your list, but I'm going to give them a 1% chance, and that is Kevin Owens. Look, I really, really would like if Cody's going to hold the belt until Kevin comes back for Kevin to beat him. Because I do think that kind of brings things full circle. We know there was talks last year before he got hurt of Kevin Owens actually going to beat Cody Rhodes at Elimination Chamber. Obviously, that did not happen. So I would quite like it if they end up running that back and Kevin Owens finally wins that WWE Championship once again for the first time since he held the Universal title in 2016. So I would be a fan of it, but I do think it's very unlikely.
I do too, but it's definitely one that's worth mentioning.
Definitely. What's your 4?
Number 4, I'm going to go with the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns, with a 13% chance on here. You talk about the WWE Championship, you got to mention Roman Reigns. The only thing is, I feel like Roman's time with the WWE Championship won't happen for a while since he's held it for a very long time. Very iconic 1,316-day reign as champion, and he'll be busy with likely Paul Heyman. But Roman Reigns, like I said, it's a guy that has to be worth mentioning because we are talking about the WWE Championship.
You are completely bang on right there. In at number 3 for me, I'm going to go with somebody who I think there's a 3% chance of it happening. If it happens, I do think it's going to be this weekend, a Saturday night's main event, and that has to be Drew McIntyre. I think there is a world where they flip-flop this title. I just don't think there's many worlds where they do that. That's why I'm saying a 3% chance. I don't think Drew would hold it for long, but potentially to lead into an Orton feud or something, that is how you get there. So I do think there's a chance, albeit a very small one. What's your call at 3?
It's a great call. Number 3, I'm going to go with a person I feel like that will be facing Cody at WrestleMania 42, but not to win his championship. We're going with CM Punk. 14% chance. The reason why I have Punk on here is because, like I said, these two have a lot of history together. Obviously, with OVW, they also had the promo battle earlier in the year. This is actually 2 years in a row before the Rumble where both guys had a promo exchange against each other. And it just feels like every time these two talk, you just want to see them put in a program. You want to see them put in a championship match. And I feel like CM Punk is definitely someone that could be fitting in that role. CM Punk at number 3.
I'm going to be honest, if Cody and CM Punk does happen at the main event of WrestleMania, I think there's a near 100% chance of there being a title change and CM Punk winning. My issue is, now that Seth Rollins is injured, will CM Punk actually be the world champion? I don't know. I'm divided, and for that reason, I'm going to give CM Punk a 45% chance, but he is my number 2. I would like to see this happen. I just think there is one better option that I would prefer. What's your pick at 2?
I mean, we could stay about the same time. I already know what's going to be. Clark Taylor. Obviously, Clark Taylor is going to join WWE. He's going to kick Cody Rhodes in the face and take the championship off of him once and for all. No, it's going to be Randy Orton. Randy Orton's going to win.
You haven't said your number 2 yet.
Oh, you're right. I was so excited. Number 2. We're going to go. Number 2, we're going to go with Drew McIntyre, a 19% chance to win. As you can see, I got very excited because I just did what WWE has did, and what most of us are doing, we're looking past the opportunity because we feel like Drew McIntyre will not have a chance. Well, nay, Drew McIntyre does have a chance. He will be fighting Cody for the championship this Saturday. It could happen, man. Cody, he could make the call, and he wants Drew to get the championship. There was rumblings. There's rumors about WrestlePalooza where that potentially could have happened. Maybe it does happen this Saturday. I think McIntyre definitely someone worth mentioning.
I definitely think there's a possibility. I don't know about 19%, but I do think there's a few worlds that exist out there where it would happen. But in at number 1, 45% chance, I have Randy Orton. It's who I want to dethrone Cody. The story is there. Let Orton get to 16 title reigns as well. That's really what I want for him to equal Ric Flair's record. Even if he doesn't go on to equal Cena's, at least let him get to 16. So yeah, I'd be all for this. I think the story makes sense, and you could, even if you really want to, have Cody win it back off him. But yeah, a heel Randy Orton, I want to see it. I've been dying to see it, and I think there's a 45% chance of this happening. It's just, I do also think there's a world where it's Orton Cody at the Rumble, Cody wins, and then it's Cody Punk at Mania, and then Punk wins. That's why I'm saying only 45%. But what's your call, Des? Actually, we kind of know your call, you spoiled it, but what's your percentage chance?
I got a 30% chance of Randy Orton. I will make this call right now. If Cody Rhodes loses a WWE Championship, I think there's a very high chance he does turn heel. If it's against Punk, if it's against Randy, I do feel like that's going to happen. Now, I'm not going to be as confident as last time, but I do believe it's one that's worth mentioning. But yeah, you already said it for me. Randy Orton, he's one of the main guys right now in WWE. He needs it, man. He's been here, right? You have a lot of wrestlers like John Cena, Batista. They went to Hollywood. Randy Orton, he's been WWE through in and throughout, right? Outside of injuries, he's always here. Giving him one more run, I think it's 100% worth it. And plus, there's a story to tell, right? It's just when they're going to pull the trigger. That's the only thing we're waiting for. But once they do pull that trigger, I do believe the Apex Predator will once again become the WWE Champion.
Absolutely. I'm really looking forward to this feud when it happens, because it is literally over a decade well over a decade in the making. Yeah. Basically 15 years in the making. So that's going to be, 15, 16 years in the making. That is going to be very exciting indeed. But hopefully you guys all found this video very exciting. And if you did, please make sure to hit that like button, hit the notification bell, and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you, Des, for joining me here today. And we will be back next Thursday for another Top 10 Thursday. See you guys then. Ba-ba-ba-ba.